Staying with that story, frustrating load shedding makes solar energy more and more attractive. The Sun Exchange is the world's first peer-to-peer solar leasing platform. It allows anyone, anywhere in the world, to own solar energy producing cells and to build wealth by leasing those cells to businesses and organizations. For more on this, I'm joined by the Sun Exchange's Chief Commercial Officer, John Wallace, and he's coming to us from our Cape Town studios. John, thank you for your time this Saturday afternoon. So IPPs are becoming an ever-increasing demand. Tell us a little bit more about how the system works to allow peer-to-peer leasing of what is essentially energy.
Yeah, good afternoon, Annalie. Thanks for having me on the show. As you explained, yeah, we're the world's first peer-to-peer solar micro-asset leasing company. What that actually means is that we allow individuals from all over the world to purchase and own and then effectively lease solar panels to organizations in emerging markets and allow them to get access to solar energy at no upfront cost. So how that works is that the Sun Exchange is the platform. We host the projects on our platform. We allow those individuals to purchase those solar panels, and then we lease them to those companies on a long-term basis. Those companies then receive that solar energy, which is cleaner, cheaper solar energy, which gives them access to solar at no cost. And then every month we charge that energy to those organizations, and that energy that they pay for, we distribute that income to those people that own those solar panels. So in effect, they get a return on that investment. And so really we're allowing individuals all around the world to become distributed power producers, which you can imagine that's a pretty fundamental shift from the current way that solar energy as well as energy is generally provided.
John, absolutely, that's a huge mind shift. When you say individuals, that doesn't necessarily mean that me as an individual, I would buy a solar panel, put it up on the roof of my house and then lease that energy. How is the infrastructure distributed?
Yeah, so that's true. I mean, there's obviously people, many people all around the world, millions of people, in fact, are living in houses and apartments, and many of them don't have the money or the rooftops to actually own a solar plant for themselves, let alone for other people. So Sun Exchange resolves that problem by allowing them to effectively do that. So now they can purchase a solar panel on our platform for a project in Cape Town, in Johannesburg, or anywhere in emerging markets, and effectively then lease that to a company that they know, and then get a return from that energy that they're providing to that company on a long-term basis.
So that's taking essentially also the economy of energy very far away from our current system. Where do you see this sort of tying into our current network, and what needs to change to make your system more viable and more profitable and more easily accessible to individuals?
Yeah, very good question. I mean, if you think effectively, we're solving three fundamental problems in the current emerging market energy situation, but actually in the world's energy situation. The first one is in emerging markets, as we all know, typically, unfortunately, emerging markets are typically some of the sunniest places on Earth. They're also typically some of the places which are the biggest contributors to global warming and global climate change, because they're typically burning fossil fuels. Like here in South Africa, for example, we're heavily reliant on coal-based fossil fuels. And we drive around the streets and we see rooftops that are effectively void of solar panels, and it's such a tragedy. And the reason for that is that the cost of capital for solar plants for commercial, industrial and community buildings is beyond the reach of many of them. And so consequently, we don't see more solar plants. So with Sun Exchange, we effectively bridge the funding gap for those organizations by providing them with solar plants at no upfront cost, because those solar plants are funded by those individuals that purchase the solar panels. And then we can provide those organizations with cheaper, cleaner energy and access to solar power at no upfront cost. On the flip side, we've got all of those millions of people around the world, like you and I, that would quite like to become power producers. And so we can go onto our platform and you can see one of those projects from one of those organizations that is going solar. You can purchase a solar panel via our platform, and then you can effectively rent it to that organization and for the next 20 years earn an income. And then in the middle of the situation, you've got the kind of national and regional energy situation. Like here in South Africa is a great example right now. We've got a crisis happening.
John, I
with
do
our
apologise. I
national
have
energy
to
provider,
interrupt
Eskom.
you. I do apologise. We've run out of time there. But thanks certainly for your comments. There's certainly a very exciting alternative to Eskom at the moment.